Oh my good bearded bastards, let me tell you what right now. Currently, you sit on a throne of ignorance. That's right, you. Right now, you are ignorant to spectacle, ignorant to glory, and terribly ignorant to the explosive events that are to be round 2 of this, our 3rd Splatterface tournament. Now then, before we start a gosh darn thing, I'm gonna tell you, if you're expecting a plain old round here, then it just proves how ignorant you are. No. This year we are, in fact, mixing things up a good bit, and so those pairings we mentioned at the end of round 1, the ones you've come to expect, between our fighters, yeah, those ones, those are getting thrown out. And you know the typical mid-game show we do? Paltry. Simply paltry. The mid-game show is now going to be integrated into our tournament, and will also be put on courtesy of our 6 savage fighters. This is all going to be explained shortly, so don't worry too much about it. For now, we're going to take a look at our fighters. Let's get reacquainted, eh? Get out here, fighters! First up, we have that high-flying barbarian who gorges on carrion, Kata the Harpy. Next up, there's that wrinkled lord of the two-handed sword, Pinky the Mulmarian. And she's got style, she's got grace, she's a mini killer with a swinging mace, Fury the Gila monster woman. Hey, make way for our lavender hair slayer, the death blow purveyor, Grin the goblin, coming in next. Then after that, it's the monocular maniac with a murderous axe attack, the Eye of Bloodcastle. And lastly, you know him, you love him, it's the veteran caver whose skill does not waver, Radoc the Gorlak. Don't they look great today, folks? Glistening muscles, gnashing teeth, and crusty scales, all soon to be soaked with blood in the name of glory. But yes, your terrible, terrible ignorance, back to that. I'm sure you're wondering what exactly our fighters will be up to today, and so without further ado, allow me to elucidate. And just before we get to that, I've got to remind some of you inclined to complain about new things or changed things or unfair things. We have a big wide hallway that you can go to and just weep to your heart's content. Just grab a hanky on your way out. If you don't think you can handle it, all set? You good? Okay then, let's get straight to it. So, first up, we'll see our 6 fighters doing something we've never before witnessed here in the Splatterface arena. Cooperating? Yes, that's right. First up, we're going to see our fighters fighting alongside each other in 3 bouts versus a slew of interesting opponents. Now, of course, because they'll be fighting somewhat cooperatively with each other, this won't be a typical elimination duel. Instead, the fighter who makes the most killing blows wins a wonderful prize. But more on that in a bit. Let's continue. For the following event, we held a little poll of the dwarves here at Splatterface, and it seemed like team battles were a much sought-after format. And so that's what we're going to go with for the main event of round 2. Our fighters will be split up into 2 teams and will face off in 3 explosive team bouts. You still with me here? That's 2 teams, 3 bouts, simple stuff. Now, at this point, I'm sure there are many questions floating around out there, but allow me to allay your concerns, my friends. All will be transparently clear before long, but for now, I think we should get straight to it and jump right into today's first half. The Great Kill Count Contest. And now, if you'll allow me, I'd dearly love to introduce the first team of foes our fighters will face. It's a scaly squadron of savage spearmen, the Rotten Bones Stuck Up in a Tree tribe. Yes, it looks like the defeat of Carnivora, Eater of Flesh, in round 1 has upset the members of her little tribe here, and so they've come here today to see if they can glean a mote of vengeance by slaying our prestigious fighters. Now, that's what they're here for, but I gotta say, I don't think they're gonna do very well. Here, let's have a closer look at them. A reptile person stands just a bit smaller than a dwarf, and as you can see, there are 22 of them out there today. You'd think they'd have the numbers advantage, but they are just armed with fungi wood spears and shields, the finest they could fashion, which is to say they aren't very fine at all. I'll note too that 4 of them are armed with blowguns instead. Best keep on your toes, fighters. Now then, that should do it. How are we feeling? Eager? Bloodthirsty? Well then, without further ado, let the first bout of this year's mid-game commence. And oh, there we go with the blow darts, and effectively fired as the reptiles move in. Oh, and already first blood, leveled by Fury, crushing a reptilian eye. Here they come now, encircling the fighters. Looks like Pinky is moving off by himself to the north. Careful, Mole Man. The other fighters are sticking together though. Radoc is taking some big hits and is not doing well down there. Ooh-wee, would you look at those teeth, limbs, and blow darts filling the air. It's a real mess now, it's hard to pick out individual events. Hey, it looks like Fury is furiously fighting 2 reptiles all by herself. Good work out there, Lizard. The reptiles continue to rage, and we can see Grin and the Eye fighting side by side there, taking down droves of reptiles. Amazing work. Radoc continues to struggle up there as we see another volley of darts sail in, and it looks like the mop-up process has begun. Grin, Eye, and Kata are taking on a blowgunner, Pinky and Fury another. Radoc is still down, but he looks to be particularly rage-filled out there, frothing at the mouth. Grin is an absolute flurry with that blade, poking holes in reptiles left and right. Pinky lops the head off another down at the side there. Kata flying around above can be hard to keep track of, eh? Rest assured, she is causing her fair share of chaos out there. And there we have it right there. The end of the bout comes at the end of Pinky's blade. You can see right at the end there, Grin was racing across the field, trying to score one last kill, it seems, trying to steal it away from Pinky. We do have some cutthroat competition out there today, which is all fine and good here in Splatterface. Well, that was some supreme fighting out there against the rotten bone stuck up in a tree tribe gladiators. Turns out instead of getting sweet, sweet revenge, they have instead secured a permanent seat in our Hall of Legends, alongside their chiefess, Carnivora. Rest well, you tiny-eyed monsters. We thank you. And now for the tally. It looks like the judges are picking through the scattered remains, conferring, debating, tailbones connected to the ass bone, and hey, there we go. Looks like that counts in. Now then, let's see. Starting from the bottom, we have Radoc with 0, followed by Kata with 0 as well. Next we have Fury, who scored 2 kills. Then we have Pinky with 6. And then at the top we have both Grin and the Eye of Bloodcastle with 7 apiece. My oh my, that really is something. We have a tie in our first bout. Now, we can't go awarding a prize to both of you, so I think we'll be flipping a coin here to see who gets it. Heads the Eye, potatoes Grin. And yep, heads it is. And so the Eye wins a prize. But you must be asking, what is this prize you speak of? Well, this coin right here actually. Isn't that a nice one? Made of the finest Splatterface bronze. On one side we can see a dwarf and a fist. The fist is striking the dwarf. The dwarf is dying. And on the other side is a potato plant. Kinda let the smith do what she wanted with the design there, so guess she likes potatoes. But yes, anyways, it's a wonderful piece and worth way more than the bronze that it took to make it, that's for darn sure. So Warrior of Bloodcastle, make sure you keep an eye on it, eh? You're gonna need it for later. You doing good out there? I hope so, because we've just gotten started here and there is still a whole heck of a lot more to come. And looking down in the ring, yeah, it looks like our fighters are getting fixed up by the medical crew, getting the dents banged out of Radoc's armor, and I think we're just about ready for bout 2 of the kill count contest. So let's see who we're fighting. Yeah, there they come. Next up we have a swarming army of nipping mandibles from a nearby section of tunnels. Chitin and legs, piles of eggs. It's Queen Engesrel and her royal entourage. As you might have noticed, the queen and her subjects are a colony of ant people. A very prolific colony of ant people who have come here to Splatterface to test their mettle against our fighters. There are a total of, brace yourselves, 62 of them. It's a veritable sea of chitin for our fighters, and they better hope they don't drown out there. Note too, the ants. 40 of them are workers, about a third of a dwarf size. Tiny little guys. Then there's the soldiers. See them? Mandibles for days, and they're about the size of a Gorlak. And then of course there's the queen. Couldn't miss her if you wanted. She's just a little bit smaller than Wump the troll from round 1, and pretty strong to boot. Remember, our fighters are competing to get the highest number of kills out there, but I'll say whoever gets the queen will score 3 points instead of just the 1. That'll be an extra bit of fun there. But of course, remember, those ants might well take the crown here too, eh? Probably not. But I guess you can never say. Hey, thanks again for coming out today, ants. And good luck out there. I do think you'll need it. Anywho, that's enough babbling from me. Fighters, prepare yourselves, as we let the second bout of the mid-game commence. And whoa, there goes the harpy flying off as the sea of ants comes crashing in and the ichor begins to fly. There you go, Kata. The ants are really piling on now, and wow, if you thought that last battle was chaotic, whew. It looks like the strength of our fighters is collecting towards the northeast corner mostly. Pinky, I, and Radoc, while Fury and Kata head south. Grin over in the east is fighting the storm by herself. For now, all the combatants are doing very well out there, but they're going to start to tire before much longer. That's an awful lot of ants. A lot of dead ants, too. The twitching corpses are beginning to pile up as the fighters shift to this side of the arena. Oh, looks like, yep. Oh, Radoc goes down once again, covered with ants. Man, oh man. Over on the side, we can see Fury and Kata taking on a group, working together, even though both are badly wounded at this point. That goes for the eye, too, very badly wounded. Pinky over there is wading through insectoid bodies in a rage, swinging and slick with ichor. What a mess. He joins with Eye and Grin, who finish off their ants handily and move in to assist the lizard and bird, and that about does it right there, folks. Excellent work out there, fighters. Wow, would you look at all that ichor. Whew, what a stink. You getting that? Vinegar? Oof. Hey, ants. You know, gotta hand it to you. You guys are deserving of praise. Put up more of a fight than those reptiles, that's for sure. And we must thank you for the show. But it does look like now you sit in our Hall of Legends alongside some of Splatterface's best fighters. With your assistance, the Halls of Legends shall become winding tunnels of infinite length. Rest well. Back to it, gotta tell you, I do not envy those corpse counters out there right now. There is a terrible amount to have to pick through after that. Nasty work. But it's looking like, might be some trouble down there with the exact numbers. It's a bit bothersome. Well, still, it looks like the numbers are in, and the ones whose killers can't be determined are just going to be omitted. Guess that's just how things go when you're fighting an entire ant colony, eh? A shame. But anyways, again, starting from the bottom, where we have Kata. Ooh, Kata. 3 kills. Followed by Radoc with 6. Then Fury with 8. The Eye after that, who got 11, one of which was the Queen, which takes him to 13, but Grin did better still with 14 ants total. However, she could not beat out my boy Pinky, who had an astonishing 17 ants, making him the winner of this second ichor bath. And so, my friend, here you are, yet another beautiful bronze coin that you need to hang on to dearly for later. Actually, you know what? If you can hand it off to one of the cleaning snails, we can get it. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Yep, hand it off. There you go. We'll get it put somewhere safe for you, sweetie. Congratulations! Now, fighters, get yourselves cleaned off while the snails shovel the heaps of wriggling ant husks out and away to the corpse stockpiles or possibly over to Laidlore at the kitchen. Waste not, right? Anywho, hey, you know what? While I'm thinking of it, remember year 1 when you bastards threw a fit over the team battles and the unfair numbers in a couple of our competing teams? Well, how about this, you lunatics? 10 ants per fighter out there, and they still managed to knock them down.
Oh no, but what about the action economy?
Go to hell. Anywho, that's going to give us 2 coin holders and also leaves us with one last chaotic kill count contest, which I'm sure we're all eager to jump straight into. And so without further ado, my wonderful bastards, let's get straight to it. Now then, reptile people and ants are dandy and all, but in the grand scheme of things, aren't they a little small? I say so, I say so. What we need here at Splatterface is some meat, some muscle, something we can sink our teeth into. My friends, please, allow me to introduce the largest combatants we've seen here in Splatterface, the Ogres of Howling Hill. How's that, huh? Ogres. Shipped in midway through last year, these big bastards have been raring for a fight, and I gotta say, it's been a hassle holding on to them for so long. Now, we all remember Wump, right? The troll from round 1? Now, just to give you an idea here, she was 6 times the size of a typical dwarf. Pretty big, right? Well, okay. An ogre is roughly 24 times the size of a troll. They're bigger than an elephant. How's that for size, huh? Forget the fact that the things are 160 times the size of a Gila monster person, and that there are 8 of them out there. Fighters, I wish you the best, but gotta be frank, I'm not holding out too much hope this time. Regardless, we'll get you all nice and patched up after the fight, no matter how grievous your wounds turn out to be. And so what do you say? You ready for this? You think these fighters can cut the butterfly brains? Well then, let's cut the chatter and let the third kill count contest commence. There goes Kata, Fury, Grin, and the Eye, while Radoc and Pinky hang back. Kata's already slashing an ogre's neck, releasing a gout of blood. And looks like Pinky is taking on 2 over there on the other side. Radoc is showing us how slow he is with that armor. Guy seems to be having a tough time out there. We can see the other fighters doing rather well though. Fountains of blood and hails of teeth scatter about the arena. Brutal testament to the big hits those ogres are taking. You can see one of them out there now, howling with rage as our warriors continue beating on the others. Oh, a big hit to Pinky sends him sailing and into the arena wall. Oh wow, that was a hit. On the other side, it looks like the first ogre was felled by Grin in a fury of blood. And the other ogres aren't doing much better either. We have the Eye hacking away and Kata working furiously with her talons and teeth. And Pinky once again is sent sailing across the ring. Careful, you big dummy. A second ogre goes down, splashing face first into the deepening pools of blood. And it's looking like the remaining brutes don't stand much of a chance as they are relentlessly hacked and stabbed. Radoc seems to be taking on 4 of them all by himself over there. Probably hoping the other fighters hurry up and deal with that last downed ogre. You know, he may be slow, but that helm certainly does do the trick. Okay, yep, Grin's sword sent that ogre away to the howling beyond as the fighters turn and rush to Radoc's aid. Just in the nick of time, too. Yep, it looks like the mopping up process is underway now. I don't think those ogres can do much of anything at this point. They're down, slogging through the gore and being torn to absolute shreds. And that's gonna just about do it, I think. Done, done, done. There we go, and luckily I'm thinking it'll be a little bit easier to tally up the ogre kills than with those ants, eh? Or not? Looks like the judges are they're doing something down there. Well, we'll give them a moment while we thank our mountain-sized friends, the ogres, for their contribution to this year's celebration. Also, have a titanic congratulations to you, as now, my friends, you're all immortalized in our Hall of Legends. Rest well in glory, you terrible, hulking brutes. And back down in the ring, it looks like the judges are again having a heated debate down there. Yeah, sort it out, you bastards, damn it. Okay, there we go. They've got the numbers in. Excellent. So let's do it once again from the bottom. Oh. Well, okay. First up at the very bottom, we have Pinky, with 0 kills. Followed by Kata, with 0 kills. Followed by the Eye of Bloodcastle, who managed to score 0 killing blows. And then there's Radoc, with 0 kills. Next there's Fury, with a single 1 killing blow. And then there's the winner of the bout, with an astonishing 7 killing blows, Grin the Goblin. Folks, I am at a loss for words. Obviously, all of our fighters took part in the combat, but it was this single death-dealing goblin that was able to slay her way to the top with the most mortal blows by far. And so for that, Grin, you receive your prize, a wonderful bronze coin that may well end up saving your life at some point very soon. Again, don't lose it, Goblin. And that's gonna do it for the first part of this round, people. 3 shining bronze coins for our 3 winners, and a whole lot of corpses to sort away. What a mess out there. The snails are on it though, no worries. And while they get to sorting out those corpses, we're gonna let our fighters catch their breath for a moment while we ourselves take a break. Maybe go get some food, stretch your legs a bit. We're just gonna take some time here. Those fighters are gonna need some more intensive care to make sure they're in top fighting form for the next bit, which is the 3 versus 3 battles. Oh, and you know what? Before anything else, how about we sort out our fighters and see who will be paired up with who out there? Give us a little bit of something to talk about during our break. Okay, so what I think we'll do is take the fighter with the most kills during the contest, Grin the Goblin, and put her with the 2 who killed the least, Radoc and Kata. And then the 3 others we'll put together. We'll see the Eye, Pinky, and Fury versus Kata, Grin, and Radoc, in what is guaranteed to be one of the most exciting fights we've ever witnessed here in Splatterface. Hey, gird those loins, my wonderful bastards. Because in the meantime, yes, I think it'd be an excellent idea to take a stroll around the arena, maybe peruse the merchant stalls once again. But anywho, yes. Let's have a look in at our fighters, eh? They'll be getting their limbs reattached, bones unbroken and such, but we can still check in, huh? We'll start off with, how about Radoc? Guy didn't really do so well during that first part, eh? Goes to show you that sometimes a fighter can be better at some things and not others. Not something we've had a chance to see here in Splatterface, really. He held out extremely well against Wump in round 1, but multiple foes are just not his forte, it seems. Here's hoping he doesn't get too overwhelmed in the team fights coming up. Some spectators have noticed that with his helm covering his entire head, Radoc is literally just a ball of metal. He can't easily be taken down out there. The one big drawback being that, well, it seems the guy is forced to move rather slowly. This setup serves him well against his normal quarry of singular cave beasts, but Splatterface is a different beast altogether. I should note too that a couple of the arena's previous contenders have taken a special interest in the guy since his debut in round 1. Both the Battle Beetle and Song the Swan Man have been seen carrying on conversations with the burly Gorlak. Seems the trio have really hit it off. Perhaps they see something in the Gorlak. Potential? I suppose if someone could see it, it'd be them, eh? Here's hoping they're not wrong. Radoc, you still have a long way to go to get to the top. And speaking of potential, how about one of Radoc's new teammates? Grin the Goblin put on a spectacular show out there today against those ogres. I knew she'd go far in this competition, but I suppose this might just prove it. Though, will she be hampered by her teammates, or bolstered? The teams were decided by who performed the best in a kill count contest, which doesn't necessarily reflect the challenge they'll be facing when they get put up against each other. Either way, I don't think Grin is very concerned about her chances out there. She seems to be brimming with confidence despite the loss of her friend Wump. She alone is now carrying their original plan of defeating Krug and Splatterface and getting revenge. You know, I gotta reiterate once again, I'm not gonna go out there, Goblin. I don't care how far you get. Really, you gotta believe me, I'm telling you the truth. You're gonna make me say it till I'm blue in the face, huh? Also, you know, something else that's been irking me. I'm not too happy about your new friendship that's been blooming recently between you and Mrs. K. She's already been on my ass about, oh, just be polite, one little fight. My beautiful wife, you understand this is like a death battle, right? She wants to kill me, that's her aim. She wants to kill your husband. Yeah, it's just been a big thing. Just back and forth, you know. I love her to death, I do, but I mean, it's like, come on. I've already explained myself, and you just keep going. Don't want to embarrass the Goblin. It's for her own good. I'm sorry, no. Let's hear it for Grin the Goblin. Isn't she looking great? Anyways, no sense in getting worked up about it yet, I suppose. Especially when we have other contenders out there, like another of this new trio here, Kata the Harpy. You know, I don't know what to make of the Harpy at this point. Everyone seems so sure that flying fighters do the best here in Splatterface. And they don't do bad, I can say that much, but they don't win. That's the thing. Kata's showing out there today was a little concerning, wasn't it? She killed 3 of those ants, and that was it. No ogres, no reptiles. I'm guessing it has something to do with her lack of weapons. I do have a feeling she'll work best in either 1 versus 1 fights where she could focus on a single opponent, or perhaps as a supporting fighter. There was a lot going on in those fights. Maybe she played a part in restraining some of the opponents so that the other gladiators can move in and get the killing shots. Didn't really work out for her, but it might work out very well in these upcoming battles. Guess we'll have to see, huh? Of course, it might also help if she got some tips from another of Splatterface's previous fighters, whether she likes it or not. Yes, Kata has calmed down somewhat recently thanks to some help from Shrieking Sounds, who she's become fast acquaintances with. Goes to show you, you can never tell what relationships can form out here in the arena, eh? Well, let's hope Kata's listening to the Shrieking Sounds of Shrieking Sounds. There's a lot of wisdom to be found there. Gonna be moving on now to the other team of 3. We got 2 brutes and a little lizard. Fury the Gila Monster Woman and her mace have done some pretty handy work out there so far, and that's despite her small size. Seems like she's got a good mix of armor, speed, and skills that might just offset her mass-related handicap. Though despite that fact, she's really been quite at ease here in the arena. Good to see it's a well-placed sense of confidence. Better placed than Blue Bottom's buffoonery anyways. Of course, the confidence might also have something to do with her standing in the polls. To my surprise, Fury is leading by a hefty margin. Now, don't get me wrong, as I said, she is a fearsome force, but hell, I guess I don't know what to think. Her confidence is infectious. One way or another, we can know for sure that Fury's going to give it her all. And I'm sure we could say the same about her teammate, Pinky, the Mulmarian, who has been such a good boy lately. He killed 17 ants and was thrown across the ring twice by ogres. An amazing show, and you know, I guess it forces me to eat my own words. Really? Despite how much I like him, I didn't think he was going to be doing all too well this year. Kind of like I didn't think Fury was going to do all too well either. Pure testament to how unpredictable things can be out there in the ring, eh? That being said, for how well I like Pinky here, can I see him being the champion of Splatterface? I guess. It'd take a bit of adjusting, I think. Though there is one thing that we thankfully no longer have to worry about, and it's Pinky's biggest achievement this year. His fort-breaking prowess. Yes, this very good best boy has learned when and where to drop his foul-smelling waste, and so Splatterface no longer has to worry about that whole mess. Frankly, when you get down to it, I'm not too sure where this guy's gonna end up this year. Good or bad? I feel like it's a flip of the coin. In my humble opinion, the guy stands as a real wild card. Not unlike our last fighter, Pinky and Fury's teammate, the Eye of Blood Castle and his monstrous axe. You know, he and Pinky really are sort of cut from the same cloth in the competition. I mean, when you look at it, they both have fairly similar shticks in the way they fight, the way they're armed. Of course, one's a legendary warrior and one's a crapping monster we found in the caves, so I suppose there's a little bit of a difference. But yes, they both do have large two-handed weapons, helms, and not a whole heck of a lot else. Though that really hasn't dissuaded many minds when it comes to our polls, it seems. The Eye has dropped from number 1 down to 2 and is now in second place, and Pinky is, again, still dead last. I do have a feeling that this year our hearts are guiding our opinions more than anything else, and, you know, that's probably just alright. It's hard to tell what to expect from our fighters, so that dumb throbbing mass of muscle is just as good a metric as I can think of. Hey, wishing you the best, human. As the first of your kind here in the arena, make sure your legend goes well beyond our hall. And with that, my dear screaming sycophants, I'm thinking your hunger for battle has risen to a painful crescendo at this point, and so I'd say it's time to move on to the main event, round 2 of this year's Splatterface. Now remember, where usually we would see 1 versus 1 duels in round 2, this year is going to be 3 bouts featuring 2 teams of 3 fighters each. Fury, the Eye, and Pinky will face off against Kata, Radoc, and Grin in what is guaranteed to be just a wonderful orgy of guts and glory. Ready to find out how this goes? Without further ado, let the first bout of round 2 commence. And they're off. Man, these bouts are going to be chaotic. Grin gets across first and immediately looks to be in some trouble. Eye, Fury, and Pinky all move in on the hapless goblin as Kata above tries her best to distract them. Radoc finally joins the fight, but it might be a bit too late as a concerted effort by his foes. They seem to have turned on the Gorlak, and there goes a tusk. Ooh, a decent hit there. Looks like Grin is getting sucked into it too. Kata is as well. That's not for want of trying. Too many hits to Grin takes her down. And then there were 2. Radoc is enraged right now, rolling around in his own blood, failing, and is down for the count. Still have the bird there doing her best somehow. She managed to pull off Fury's helmet, but at this point, yeah, they have her down and she's just going wild now. Feathers, blood, and that's gonna do it right there. Kata is down, and the first bout's winners are Pinky, Fury, and the Eye of Blood Castle. Congratulations, you bastards. You didn't seem to have much trouble out there, that's for sure. But the question is, was it due to your overall size advantage, or was it perhaps a fluke? Well, I suppose we'll see shortly, now won't we? Once again, let's hear it for them. The winners of the first bout of round 2, Fury, Pinky, and the Eye. Good show out there, my friends. But what about the losers of bout 1? Well, they're getting patched up as we speak. Limbs reattached, bones unfractured and mended, but hey, at least you didn't lose anyone permanently, yeah? Eh? Probably unrelated, but for those of you out there who won coins in the first part, remember what I said. Hang on to them, eh? They're gonna get important. Alrighty, okay, that was a relatively quick turnaround there, wasn't it? Good job cleaning up, Snails. Looks like our fighters are back on the field and raring for bout 2. Just let's hold up for a moment though. We should do a quick overview of the last bout. I'd say it's warranted. Well, as we saw, Grin ran straight the hell in there, much quicker than Radoc, and on a different plane than Kata. I'm not sure this is going to work out well for those guys. They're going to have to be teamed up against their opponents if they want a chance. Pinky the Eye and Fury did very well out there, but again, I suppose it could have been a fluke. I do have a feeling like it'll just take a single strike to fell one of those big guys, and if that happens, the fight will be looking very different. But I suppose we'll find out soon if that comes to pass or not. You bloodthirsty monsters have been waiting long enough, I say, and so, once more, into the fray. Fighters, how about you? Ready to go? Well, let's hope so. Let the second bout of round 2 commence. There they go. And it looks like Grin once again is running out ahead like an idiot. Oh my goodness, yeah, that was dumb, Goblin. Grin is taken down for the count by a furious attack. Well, Radoc and Kata are giving it a go still. Radoc seems to be the new target as Pinky attempts to fend off Kata's snatching talons, though Kata is really laying on some good hits over there. The mole is bleeding like a stuck pig as the Eye and Fury put down the poor, overwhelmed Gorlak. Oh yeah, a brutal strike puts him down. Yet, that leaves only his feathered friend, who appears to be playing a game of hard to get. Yep, the Harpy is up and swooping in at Pinky, specifically, while the Eye and Fury move across the ring, leaving their companion behind. Kata is rending my poor beautiful Pinky's glistening muscles, and his team is doing nothing to stop it. Perhaps this has something to do with Pinky's preferential treatment. Shrewd of you two. Very shrewd, kind of nasty, actually. Well, it looks like my big strong boy is down, and so here comes that Harpy, bravely diving in. Foolishly diving in at Fury, but Fury and the Eye are now swinging upwards, creating a wall of iron against the Harpy's attacks. She is trying, but with all the dodging she has to do, I don't think there's going to be a chance. And, yep, there it is. The Eye knocks the feathered fighter out of the sky where she's finished off by feisty Fury. Fantastic work, you guys out there, once again, even. Though, I'm not too sure how I feel about your betrayal of Pinky the Mulmarian. Regardless of how I feel, though, I suppose your point was well made, even if it's a point I'll be ignoring. Well, anywho, let's hear it for the winners of the second bout of round 2. Furious Pink Eye. It's a horrible team name, but it sticks with you. Now, once again, we're going to let our fighters get cleaned up, straightened out. Got to get that armor all polished and reassembled too, of course. Also, another little breakdown of the fight, I suppose, is warranted. Though I'm not sure what else I could say. Grin has the speed. She's definitely the most fleet of foot out there. You hear me, Grin? We know you're fast. But if she does that again, I don't know what kind of chances they're going to have out there. I was pleased to see Kata's talons doing their thing in this fight. She did manage to make some pretty clean work of poor Pinky out there, though I suppose him having treacherous teammates helped her out a bit. Personally, I don't appreciate the poor sportsmanship, but what can I say? I do like me that confidence. They're so confident of their win that they just chose to ignore their poor, hapless teammate. Pure, brutal showmanship. Couple of real rat bastards. And once again, addressing the bout's losers, Grin, Kata, and Radoc, it's not looking good for you. You better hope you get at least one win out there if you want any chance at the big time. Really getting down there. Now, what do you say? Looks like the fighters are good to go, and let's hope for their sake they are. Gladiators, at the ready, and let the final bout of round 2 commence. Here they go. Grin a little slower this time too. Oh, and she swerves over towards Pinky alongside Kata, but the Eye and Fury are joining in too. Oh wow, they've somehow managed to separate Pinky away from the group, and he goes down. Grin puts Big Pinky down. A cause for pause there. Wow, that was something. Kata above is swooping down on the Eye now as Radoc lands a vicious bite on Fury. Gives that little lizard a shake as Grin goes insane with that blade of hers. The Eye seems helpless out there now that he's a target. And would you look at that, Grin pokes the Eye and puts him right down, leaving only the little lizard Fury against 3. That being said, oh, look away if you've got a weak constitution, because the Fury fades quickly under the 3's fed-up frenzy. Hey, alright, now that wasn't a bad fight at all, you 3. You may have only won the one bout, but you did so in spectacularly efficient fashion. Let's hear it for the underdogs. Radoc the Gorlak, Kata the Harpy, and Grin the Goblin. Excellent stuff, you 3. Looks like you still have some hope to work with. And the losers. What about them? Why even address them? Well, my bearded bastards, some of you have doubtlessly noticed that there's been a major change in round 2 this year. That change being no contestant deaths at all. Full mercy. Isn't that wonderful? All 6 of our esteemed fighters cling to life, win or lose. What an extremely happy ending. Brings me to tears, you know. I was thinking after all the carnage in round 1, maybe we should just have, a happy ending in the arena. Everyone lives. Why has it gotta be about the death? Why do people gotta die, Okay, relax, you bearded babies. No, this isn't how the round ends. We still have to figure out which of our 3 fighters move on to the final round. And, of course, which 3 fighters are eliminated. But how will we achieve this, you ask? Well, my friends, I would like to introduce some new friends. Weighing in at nearly 3 tons, they have a formidable array of ways to send our fighters to their graves. And they would not blink an eye in doing so. It's the Splatterface Eliminators. Yes, do they look a bit familiar? They're Iron Men, just like Relic from last year. We here at Splatterface have been diligently working away trying to uncover the secrets of creating these ancient constructs, and I think at this point we're close enough. These guys here are going to be giving us a big hand in the next segment of this year's festivities, the Elimination Round. And here's how it's going to work. We have our 2 teams, one with 2 losses and one with a single loss. We're going to be choosing a fighter at random from each team for each of their losses, and those 3 losing participants will be put up against the Splatterface Eliminators in a final bout that will seal their fates. Now, what'll it be, fighters? Will you prevail against insurmountable odds, or will you end up as a smear on the arena floor? Let's find out. Oh, and yes, how could I forget your medallions of mercy? The coins 3 of you won in that first part. I do hope you've held on to them. If a fighter is chosen for elimination, they can sacrifice their coin to have a second chance. It's not a foolproof measure, but it's better than nothing. And so, let's get on with it. First up, we have the 2-time losers, Radoc, Grin, and Kata. Let's give her a spin and see who's done in. Good luck, you 3. It looks like the first on the chopping block is Kata, the Harpy. Tough luck there, my friend. But it's not all over for you yet, so take heart and face these iron brutes with beak held high. Or, I suppose she still has a chin. It's with chin held high. Regardless, good luck to you, Kata, and let your elimination bout commence. She's off as the iron monsters creak to life and begin lumbering in. Kata is taking on the Northwest Iron Man. But just like that, she is pulled from the sky and smashed into a feathered pulp. End of bout. End of Kata. Oof. I'd like to think the eliminated fighters would stand a slight chance out there, but this gives me a bit of pause. Kata, you, like your Skyborn predecessors, have done extremely well out there this year, but unfortunately, like your predecessors, it doesn't look like the crown of champion can ever fit the head of a flyer. Regardless, my friend, do not despair, as now you dwell in Splatterface's hallowed hall of legends. A suitable seat for one as memorable as yourself. It's just a damn shame we'll never find out if you're actually a wizard or a witch or necromancer. Might be for the best, though. Shriek on, Kata. Shriek on. And here we stand yet again at the precipice of bitter defeat. Both teams now have 1 loss to account for, so nothing is guaranteed, and things could still go very badly for any of you. So step up once again, fighters. Seeing as how Kata, Radoc, and Grin lost the second bout, we'll choose a loser from that side once again. Though this time it'll only be between Radoc and Grin. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, my friend. It's Radoc, the Gorlak. So sorry. Well, looks like you're out of luck, and without one of those coins, well, better hope your armor can overcome the iron-born bodies of the Eliminators. There he is, and wow, so stoic. Radoc faces the Eliminators without a single ounce of trepidation, even after the brutal mashing of Kata. Better hope that stiff upper lip can get you through the challenge, though. Are you ready? Good. In that case, let Radoc's elimination match commence. They're off and plotting. Radoc moving about the same speed as the monolithic marauders, heading northwest and slamming in. Oh, hey, look at that. You can see the gas billowing out of the construct. Radoc has scored a hit, and another. You can see pieces of the Iron Man flying out and away. An arm, a leg. Radoc is circling around and through the eliminators, staying just out of reach. There you go, Gorlek. A hit knocks Radoc's halberd away. His arm is damaged now, but he's not out yet. Still circling. Oh, he bites one of them, but an obvious mistake. As soon as he connected to the thing, that slowed him down. Could no longer dodge those attacks. But you can see how long it's taking to finish the guy. That armor of his really is no joke. Regardless, though, there's only so much one could do against the Splatterface eliminators. And Radoc has met his earthly end. But, as always, you remained absolutely stoic through it all, my friend. And it was a pleasure having you here in this year's Splatterface. We won't soon forget your opening duel against Wump the Troll, and your near loss, turned win. It was a spectacular show on the Waterfall Bridge. But now, my friend, you rest in the Hall of Legends, as stalwart guardian of the many heroes who lie within. Thank you for the show, Radoc. And then there was one more loser. One more to be fed into the elimination ring. Well, I'm sure Grin's happy. That accounted for both losses of her team, and so she's safe, and is going to be moving on to the final 3-way round. Our remaining loser, though, will be chosen from the other team. Pinky the Mulmarian, Fury the Gila Monster Woman, and the Eye of Blood Castle. Fate is about to drive forward into one of you and send you straight to the Hall of Legends. So, let's find out who it'll be. The Eye of Blood Castle, who luckily managed to get a Medallion of Mercy in the kill contest. Congratulations, my friend. Looks like you've staved off bitter death for now, but you're not out of it yet. So clench just a little bit tighter as we take another spin. I am sorry, my friend. The Eye of Blood Castle. I don't know what you did to upset fate, but it's upset. And so you've been eliminated from this year's competition, despite having a Medallion of Mercy. Well, we all know mercy can only go so far here in the arena, I suppose. Perfectly exemplified by your current predicament. Hey, tell you what, good luck out there, my friend. There's hope still. And so, you ready, Iron Men? Yep, they're good to go. And so, let the Eye of Blood Castle's elimination match commence. He is off, charging in with his axe and swinging. You can see some gas there. Oh, the eye lays into the Iron Man, hacking at its hollow body. Gas is spraying out now. It's hard to see much of what's going on, but it indicates that the Iron Man is having a rough time. You better hold on, Eye. The other golems are getting close now. Oh, the Eye takes down an Iron Man. 3 to go. Spectacular. 2 of them are bearing down on the guy right now. Oh, there's some blood there. The Eye is hit somewhere in the clouds. That's not a good sign. It's not looking good. Just trying to make out. Yeah, damn. The Eye of Blood Castle has met his end against the Eliminators. Damn shame. Damn shame. You know, I had some pretty high hopes for him out there, but I guess in the end, the Eliminators did their job. Mighty Eye, it may have been that blade of yours, or possibly your helm, or perhaps maybe it was your general air of mystery. But whatever it was, tantalized and enthralled the people of Splatterface this year. Your end at the hands of the Eliminators doubtlessly comes as a bitter disappointment to many of this year's attendees, but we all would do well to remember that no longer do you exist in the dim, lusterless world of the living. Instead, now you sit on an immortal seat of gold in our Hall of Legends. Thank you for the memories, human. My bearded bastards. We now have to level our praise upon this round's winners. Fury the Gila Monster Woman, Grin the Goblin, and Pinky the Mulmarian. These 3 fighters have dodged the swinging blades of fate and stand now at the very cusp of glory. But who will win in the upcoming 3-way duel and move on to face the Battle Beetle in a devastating duel for the crown of champion? Well, you're going to have to make sure to pop in at the next and final event of this year's Splatterface, coming up in just a week? Probably more? Who could say? This year's been a mess so far. One thing I do know is that it will be out at some point, so you better keep your peepers peeled if you don't want to miss it, because the apex of this year's celebration will be unlike any